Alright, I've had a few little to drink. I just want to admit that right away, but the thing is, the reason I'm doing this video, I've been only doing videos when I haven't had a few little to drink. But anyway, in this exception, out of nostalgia, for the old reason, no, not for the old reason. The reason was because, I wanted to establish, how I really feel. I'm an I love you man drunk. You know, if you see me writing acidic, acerbic, same meaning really there, comments in your video, I'm for sure sober. If I'm drunk, I'm like, you're really great. And if they're not proofread, again, I probably haven't been drinking, because if I've been drinking, I'm like, oh, well, I don't want to waste these people's time because I've been drinking, because I love you, man. I'm totally, I know. And I love you, man. So anyway, Skep, I love you, man. And Ella, I love you, man, too. Skip and Ella, can't we all just get along? That's my point. Come on. Like Skip was talking about, well, I have a sense of humor, and I tell a joke, and I look who gets it. I totally get that. That's a technique right up my alley. And I do get his sense of humor. I have lolled much. That's why I watch. I barely comment and stuff, but I am subscribed, and when I do watch, it's kind of like, well, if he's talking to somebody I know, I follow it, and I love greatly. Um, Again, Skid Radio. Anyway, I lolled and kerchuckled. Come on, how could you not, unless you were Skid Row? And he just keeps going anyway, so you don't have to worry about him. I love you, man. But, so my point is, seriously, Skep, you talk about, well, I tell these jokes at people, it's for the subtle. Maybe just rewatch Ella's videos. The woman is a Molly Ivins plus subtlety factor. That's what I think. Ella, I love you, girl. Woman. Man, whichever is most appropriate, most politically correct, just choose. Anyway, I'm acting actually, because I'm totally sober, but I thought, you know what, this will go over better as a drunk bit, I love you, man, drunk. So, okay. Yeah, and I mean it sincerely. I mean, think about the percentage of time, if I've been subscribed to you for years and years, how much time have I given you a hard time, and what's the harm of that? It's out of respect. I hardly ever reply to someone like Von Helton. Wait, no, that's not a good example. I'm not trying to say you're... Well, I have old videos, you can see my ideas on that, that's your problem. But anyway, see, Ella's kind of... I think I get Ella, because, look, she's like, I want to ask you to clarify yourself. But before that, she's like, hey, I don't think you're this way, but why don't you clarify, sir? Why? Well, ask Justicar. When you're ripping information out of an innocent rube, you want to make them say it one or two or three or five or as many times as possible, so they can contradict themselves in their terrible, terrible lies. But that's not, in your case, it's not a terrible, terrible lie. It's just, it might be clear to have different ways of putting it. I can't see what the harm would be.